guess since I don't know how to run Will's clock, I'll take a little picture of my watch here. This cruiser.
How about over here? Here we go. This is sort of the walkway. So
Let's put a little timestamp on
thanks very much for holding it for me.
It's 5:07. Peter! Damn, I could have brought the t-shirt. How are you? I think Will's about to start speaking, so I'm going to go.
Welcome everybody to the Friday Rally for Peace and Justice. We're out here every Friday at 5 p.m. We have been out here every Friday at 5 p.m. since October, November of 2001. Over 6 years we've been doing this. We've been a voice for peace. We've been a voice for justice. And not just the Portland Peaceful Response Coalition, but the War Resisters League, Peace and Justice Works, Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, so many other groups. We have the Impeach Action group here. We know there are some genuinely pissed off grannies in the crowd. Now we know also that emotions are a little higher than usual. We are looking back on a year of war and occupation, 2007. We want to make sure that everyone knows here that throughout these years we've been out here, we've been heckled, we've been harassed, sometimes by individuals on the street, sometimes by law enforcement. And we don't reflect back that hatred and ignorance. We reflect back love and compassion. And we often blow kisses as a way to respond. And we ask you all to embrace that kind of philosophy with us tonight. Now we're looking back on this war on terror, and we grieve for the thousands that have died in these wars, the tens of thousands that have been wounded, the tens of thousands displaced, the tens of thousands illegally detained at Guantanamo Bay, at the secret prisons created by the Bush administration. We grieve for the people who have been victimized by this administration's policies of torture, a policy signed off by the Vice President. And we also, in addition to these wars that we have opposed each week here, we also reach out to the other social justice movements of this country. We reach out to the people who are struggling for equality, our brothers and sisters in the gay and lesbian and transgender communities that have been victimized by this discrimination, this discriminatory institution of marriage as it now exists. And they were dealt a setback, but they will come back strong, and we will stand with them in that struggle. And we know also, very importantly, that we will stand with the immigrant and undocumented communities that have been so victimized by this administration, and sadly by others not in the administration. There are allies in the commercial media that have stirred up hatred against these people. They have adopted the plan, the policy of despots throughout history. When they see their polling numbers plummeting because of the war in Iraq and because of the state of the economy, they choose the plan and the policy of despots throughout history by finding the most vulnerable part of our community, those people in our community that cannot fight back, and they blame society's problems on those people. This is what we're seeing in the attacks on the immigrant community. And right here in Portland, we saw the ICE raids that terrorized families, that split up families in the immigrant and undocumented communities. We stand with those people. As we look back on 2007 and we look forward to 2008, we grieve, yes, and we know that we witnessed these crimes, but we were not silent, were we? No! And we are not going to be silent, are we? No! We will continue to speak out. We will continue to act out. We will not be quieted down, not now, not ever. As we look forward to 2008, we confront the question that has confronted people in this country and throughout the world through the ages. How do we organize a social movement to change the direction of our society in this country? A historian looking back on the very important year of 1968 commented that a turning point during the activism and organizing against the Vietnam War was when the anti-war movement joined forces with the civil rights movement. And today we have a civil rights movement. I think the heart and soul of that civil rights movement is the immigration rights movement. We know that these people who have been so viciously targeted, but that have come together so strongly to fight back for their rights, we know that that is the civil rights movement that we need to forge alliances with. We know that's not the only civil rights movement. We know the civil rights movement against these illegal detentions, against these warrantless wiretaps, against the discrimination of our gay and lesbian brothers and sisters, against people in color, the civil rights movement that continues for gender equality. All of this is the civil rights movement that we, as a part of the peace movement, need to join with. That alliance has the potential to build a social movement that cannot be ignored, that can take the reins of this country and lead it to a new place, a kind of country that respects human rights, does not tolerate, would never tolerate the use of torture, and would not tolerate the kind of mass criminal behavior that our country has indulged in over these past several years and beyond. We are now going to march to City Hall to invite our City Council members to join us on Fridays and take part in this very important expression of freedom here at Pioneer Courthouse Square, Portland's living room.
Yes.
Now we know there are moves underway to roll back the Friday rally, to roll back the rights that we have exercised for over 6 years here at Pioneer Courthouse Square. And we face those efforts steadfast. I am so proud to have been a part of this weekly tradition over these years, and I am so proud to be a part of this community. And I know I am not alone in standing here and speaking out. There will be others who will come after me, and I will join them again in the future. So let's march, let's make some real noise, and let's strike another blow for freedom here in Portland, Oregon. Thank you for being here.
Everywhere we go! Everywhere we go! People want to know! People want to know! Who we are! Who we are! So we tell them! So we tell them! We are the people! We are the people! Mighty, mighty people! Mighty, mighty people! Gonna fight for justice! Gonna fight for justice! Gonna stop this war! Gonna stop this war! Yeah!
Dude, are we gonna walk or what? Well, it says stop.
We're actually
We're following the rules.
the management here.
No.
A very,
That'd be the worst.
City Hall. What kind of response? Oh, about like 3 hours. City Hall. 6 and 7. Right.